That's a pretty nice one. Okay, treasure hunting enthusiasts. I am here at this park here in Arizona. We're gonna check it out. It's a playground, I guess, not a park. So I will see you at the first target. All right, so right off the bat, getting a couple 18, some as high as 30, 27. So it could be a coin spill. So we'll get the pinpointer out and see what's here. All right, looks like a little metal bracket, little screw. That's one of the items here. Okay, I'm getting a pretty strong 9 signal here. Probably tells me it's just trash, but we'll see what it is anyway. Yeah, there it is. Just a small little metal washer. A little gear of some kind. On to the next one. Well, I didn't show the find on this, but with the main detector, I didn't think it was going to be anything. It rang up as a 1719, and it looked pretty deep, but it wasn't really that deep. And so it's a nice little bobby pin hair clip. This is a recent drop. So kind of cool, pretty nice. Maybe I'll put it out on Facebook to see if anybody lost it here in the neighborhood. They want to claim it. On to the next one. All right, we're getting a pretty strong 2021 here. Tells me it's probably a penny. Yeah, there it is. That's a fresh one. Nice and shiny. I guess I want to show you that surface find that I found. It was just a little toy backhoe. Kind of cool, so I'm just going to leave it for the kids when they come back. But I'm going to head to the next park and see what we can find, and we'll be back on the first target. All right, so we're at our second park, and this one has both the volleyball court, the beach volleyball court, and the playground. So we're going to hit up both and see what we can't find. All right, I'll see you at the first target. All right, this little turtle charm rang up as an 11. I thought it was just going to be a piece of tin foil or a piece of trash, but yeah, it's got little child's charm, I think. Little turtle necklace charm. Pretty cool.
You so totally rock, Squirt! So give me some fin.
That's a keeper. On to the next one. Yeah, this target was hitting strange, of course. Big long metal spoon. Pretty cool. On to the next one. All right, well, my first nickel for the day. So I got a penny and a nickel so far. Need a dime and a quarter to hit the cycle. Not sure if that's going to happen today, but we'll give it a shot. So we'll see it at the next target. Ah, no. Well, there's my first soda can for the day, so you know what that means. All right, well, this could be my first quarter. Let's take a look. There it is. So I am officially a dime away from hitting the cycle, so it's much more possible now. This park has been just loaded with treasures. Tons of coins, tons of nickels and pennies and charms, and now a quarter. So very cool. This park has clearly not been hit for a while. So on to the next one. Let's hope we find the dime. Well, ladies and gentlemen, don't know if you can see it or not, but I officially hit the cycle at this park. Oh, and I just dropped my... Love it. I love when I hit the cycle, especially when it just takes one park to do it. So very, very cool. On to the next one. I kept thinking this was just an old piece of, like a mud or a crusty piece of, I didn't know what it was, but it has a post on it like an earring. So I assume I'll get it home and try to get it cleaned up a little bit, but that's an old hoop earring.
It's kind of gross.
Very cool. On to the next one. Yeah, this is a nice little charm. I forget what they're called off the top of my head, but it's that little flute player Indian. The Kokopelli, I believe, is what it's called. So pretty cool. Yeah, it's a necklace charm. That's a pretty nice one. We'll have to check that out in more detail when we get home. Very cool find. All right, we're back in the Swing and Dig It studios here, and I just want to say that I had a great time today metal detecting. The first 2 parks that we hit weren't that great, but the third park was excellent. There were a ton of targets there. In fact, I hit the cycle at the third park alone. Let's take a look at some of the finds that I was able to dig out of the sand at this playground. All right, so as always, we always find old soda cans, that type of stuff. To the right of the soda cans, you can see all the trash that I found. There was just a bunch of trash in all 3 parks, but specifically the third park, tons and tons of trash. In these playgrounds, I always find nuts and bolts and washers, that type of thing. The washers are typically in great shape, and I always throw them into my junk drawer in the garage. You never know when you can use washers. Sometimes they come in very handy. Did find a couple bobby pins. This is just a basic bobby pin, and I did find a blinged out one as well. This shark up in the top right corner, that's one of those sharks that kids will use to throw in swimming pools and then go dive after. It's kind of like a missile. It shoots through the water. Pretty neat. Just a surface find, not found with my detector. I found this soup spoon in pretty good shape. Might clean it up and keep it. Why not? And found 5 pennies, 3 nickels, 2 dimes, and 1 quarter hitting the cycle at least 1 time. I found a 9mm casing in the third park, and I found these two charms as well. The one to the left or to the right of the bullet casing is a turtle, and to the right of that is one of those Kokopelli Indians, the flute player. I believe that's a Navajo thing, not sure, not 100% sure. And I found this crusty old earring, probably the crustiest earring I've ever found. That's that right there. It's been under the sand for a long, long time, pretty gross, and definitely not worth keeping. And then finally this bobby pin here next to the spoon, that's the blinged out bobby pin. Overall, it was a great hunt. I had a ton of fun as usual, and so until next time, swing and dig it.